I don't see nothing wrong with the little bump and grind. I don't see nothing wrong. Got Old Faithful there going for it. I gotta warm it up in here a little bit because I had the window open this morning because the sun was a shining and I was a feeling a little bit muggy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I gotta let that heater kind of warm it up in here a little bit. You know what I mean? Okie dokie. Let's see if it'll stay there. If you haven't dewormed yourself in the last decade, what are you thinking? Still trying to get my courage up to drink that stuff. Okie dokie. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Let me try and look at my password. Let me look at my password, yo. Hold on. Okay. So I just watched a video of a chick getting jiggy with it. There's some freaks, man. I'm just gonna let it warm up a little bit in here, and then it won't be so aggravating. But right away, I saw this one video, and I guess I won't give you any specifics of it. You can find it yourself. I've been telling you about these one videos that are coming on, and these kids these days, dude, this is all new to me. They're freaking gangster, dude. They're hip and freaking slick like you could not believe. What the hell? And I was tripping out on this. Not all of them, but some of them. They've got that freaking criminal mind. And you can go on and check them out yourself. I'll give you the names of these places. Okay, it just got hot in here. In here. And I was going to also tell you that you people who have amalgam fillings, those are silver fillings. If you want to find out about them, check out Dr. Hulda Clark. She'll tell you all about them. But don't have that salad that I had yesterday. You do not want, you turn into an instant battery. Okay? Do not have that salad. You know that Greek salad with lemon? If you're a lemon lover, find some other way to consume the lemon. Don't have it in the salad like that. It'll tear your stuff up. Okay? And so I won't be having that again. Okay, so let me go over here and check my channel real quick. There's all kinds of freaks on these two channels that I'll tell you about. I don't want to tell you about them right now because if I did, you'd take off and you wouldn't watch my video. You'd take off and go watch these other channels that are available that are showing all this stuff, like the one I got posted on my Facebook. I just saw another one this morning. But my Facebook, I hope you can see it because the sun is shining in this way, so I don't know if you can see it or not. That's my Facebook channel. And I'll close these curtains here in a minute so that we can be more better, okay? So we can be more comfortable. So this is the West Coast, and this is the third sunny day that we've had this January. You know, we're right in the middle of winter. We're actually on our way back to summer now. We actually started on our way back to summer December 22nd. Okay? And so the sun is coming out earlier and the sun is going down later. And I read that the sun was supposed to go down at 5:30 at the end of this month. But last night the sun went down and it was already 6 p.m. So I got to double check this stuff. Let me turn this light on so that we can get comfortable. Okay? There. And let me check my signal. Today is Saturday, January the 10th. Okay. 2026. And so you heard what's going on with United States and Mexico, right? Trump's about to wow, 17 people. Hey, if you're new, if you haven't seen me before, hit the subscribe button. If you've never seen me before, if you know who I am, then don't worry about it. But you know, if this is the first time, it might be a long time before you see me again, unless you hit the subscribe button. I just discovered that, so I've been doing the same thing. But okay. I'll go ahead and tell you the names of the channel. I know that you guys want to do that, and I know that pisses people off. If you leave, that's fine. I don't care. Okay, there's two channels. One is called Unspoken Crime Murders, but they don't only talk about murders. They also talk about these freaks getting it on with people that they're legally not supposed to be doing this stuff. Personally, I think it's a freaking joke. Okay, I think our laws are stupid. Okay, but everybody likes this kind of crap. They're full of crap. You think Elvis Presley was the only person who was 25 and married a 14-year-old girl? This was common back in the day. They kept lowering it. Age of consent. Okay? Nevertheless, you got these freaks, these freaky chicks doing all kinds of stuff. Okay, so the name of that channel is Unspoken Crime Murders. Okay? And then there's another one called EWU Body Cam. So I explained the whole thing to you about why they are releasing this information when before they wouldn't. They have to compete. This is Hollywood. Hollywood has to bring the real stuff because they can't compete with these new YouTube live streams. They can't compete with reality, with real people. So they're bringing you real body cam footage. Okay, so those are the two channels. I think there's a whole bunch of these new channels. These are just the two that I just saw right now. And they're wild. You know, just like everybody's sitting here and they want to know all these dirty things, you know, and they're sitting there, they're getting it off. They're freaking sexual perverts themselves. That's why they want to hear all the information and they're getting turned on. It's like the parable. People throwing rocks. Right? People deceive themselves. They're in denial. And anywho, okay, so back to the subject. So I heard that United States wants to go over there and go over there with their military, their guns and everything, and just walk into Mexico and freaking gun down the cartel. Okay. And and well, this dude, I'm starting to think that we do not know what this dude is about, because I heard that everybody is scared of him. So I don't know what's going on, but he must be really good at knowing how people are, which is to say, so are other people. And these other people have paid these mofos off. Every one of them has his price. That's why they want to take these people to court, because they know that they got freaking bought out, paid for, and they sabotaged their own companies. And personally, I'm not gonna comment on that. It is what it is. The creator is in charge. Okay? To me, I'm like, good, because you mofos don't care about Mother Earth, when everybody else on planet Earth is trying to save Mother Earth, but except for you people. So I'm like, good. I'm glad they sold out to bring in the stuff that's going to save Mother Earth. For example, and these cartels, something's going to pop off. Okay, you're talking about the mafia now. Okay? And something's going to pop off. But so back to this saving the earth. Why these bozos are freaking clowns. They're the laughing stock of the world. And so you look at one place where they really freaking need to freaking snap out of it and straighten up and fly right. I'm talking about the community. Needs to straighten up and fly right. Try to break out of this freaking media-induced hypnotic trance that they put all you mofos under. Okay? For instance, electric buses. Okay? Electric buses have zero emissions. These are saving Mother Earth. And, well, some places like the Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, these people have basically 100% electrified all of their buses, including the school buses. Okay? And so you look at places like San Francisco. San Francisco actually has about 50% electric buses on the road right now, if you didn't know. So, guess how much buses New York City has on the road? San Francisco has nearly 50%. Guess how much New York has? 0.01%. Okay? You mofos, do you care about Mother Earth? Y'all need to get with the program and get with the rest of the world. The rest of the world is cleaning up their act. And so I was watching this one person making a YouTube video live stream yesterday. morning, I think it was, or sometime yesterday, or it was today. I don't remember. And he was in New York, Brooklyn, New York. And he drove down to the AutoZone. And you look at the freaking parking lot, it looks, I'm not kidding you, it looks like you're walking through a freaking junkyard. You know how when you go to pick apart to the junkyard to get parts for your car, used parts, used auto parts, you know how when you walk through there, there's oil all over everywhere. It's a freaking junkyard. That's what the parking lot of that AutoZone looks like. And you think that's the only one? They have you living in a freaking junkyard. And so when he walks into the store, I mean there's oil everywhere. Oil everywhere, trash around, potholes in the parking lot, from cars dripping gasoline or diesel. That stuff eats through the freaking asphalt, right? It makes holes in it. And oil all over the place. You step all over it. And hold on. And so he walks into the store. Did I check my signal? I see people are leaving comments. I'll check them in a little bit. And so he walks into the store, and in the store, it's nice. You got all kinds of parts. And where do you think these parts are coming from? Right? But anyhow, they got all the parts. It's like you walked into, high class. And everything's clean, everything's nice, like everything's, everything's good, everything's cool. And from going from a junkyard to in there, you're going from your reality into these multi-billionaire maniac corporations, these corporate maniacs world, where they're raking in all the cash. They are multi-billionaires. When you walk into it, okay? And he went over there to get his part. And I look at the part and I'm like, you can get those parts for about $4 for 10. Okay? And they have one. They put it in one of those packages for $10. Okay? They're basically charging you 20 times more than what the part is actually worth. Can you see how they're ripping the people off? Okay, so if New York has 0.01% buses that are electric on the road, how many electric cars do you think are on the road? If they would straighten up and fly right, it would clean that place up. It'd clean all our places up too, right? Even when you go to Walmart, freaking oil all over everywhere. The electric vehicles don't do this. And so I just thought I'd share that with you. Because y'all need to straighten up and fly right and get on board with the electric vehicles to save Mother Earth, to clean up the planet. And that just shows people what freaking Dumblesville, that place is, right? Other places around the country, Germany, um, Norway, all kinds of places in Europe, Asia, they're all almost 100% electric. And these people are still driving these freaking oil dripping, freaking atmosphere polluting, freaking piles of garbage. 0.01% in New York City. That's freaking pathetic. Okay? And so okay. You know, everybody's talking about the food. Everybody knows that they've been polluting us and all this stuff. And um I'm getting all these new products and showing you the products when I get them. There's more products on the way. And I'm basically doing it for myself. And as I go along the way, I'm showing you the stuff that I'm finding out about myself. And I told you that um, everyone is using this garbage flour, wheat flour. Okay, this needs to stop. And it's called enriched flour. Okay, and everybody's using it, and it's absolute garbage. This stuff, there's things over here. Um, I forget. Okay, I don't remember. Somebody said something about how this stuff's not allowed over in Europe. I forget which product it was. But to me, I think the number one thing is this that they're using, this enriched flour. Okay? That's the number one thing they're using. And mostly it's the poor people who are getting this stuff, you know, if you're going to buy bread at the store, because the rich people are not eating this crap. They got good stuff. I'm finding out now that there are so many different good breads that we don't even know about. Okay, I'm starting to find out about them now. One is called concini or something like this. It's a bread that you make in a frying pan. It's called concini or something. They got all kinds of different stuff they've been hiding you, feeding you that freaking garbage. Okay? Because they are using enriched flour. It's in the bread, it's in the cookies, it's in the pies, it's at when you go to get a donut at the donut shop in the morning, they're using this stuff. Enriched flour. And this stuff has freaking most of it. The number one supplier, I'm not going to say their name, has freaking Roundup in it. Before they send it to be milled, to be ground up into flour, they spray it with freaking Roundup. Okay? This flour is being used in the donut shops. Okay? It's being used in the pizza parlors. It's being used in all the cookies. It's being used in the tortillas. Okay? And so start standing up and tell these mofos to use freaking good flour. It's called organic flour. It's on the shelves. They're just not using it. Okay? And so there's a whole bunch of different stuff out there that is available. They're just not using it. Everyone's using enriched flour and other stuff that's freaking also bad. As if that wasn't bad enough. They're actually putting other stuff in it too. Okay? You'll hear about all this stuff. Once you start looking around, That's where I'm learning it from, off of YouTube. Okay. And also, the biggest grocery chain in America, what do you think their bakery is using? The fresh bread that they're baking in the store at Walmart, enriched flour. Okay. You think that's by accident? Okay. Now, if you want to see how dumb the United States looks to the rest of the world, go into the comments and see what people are saying. Go look at the Electric Viking on YouTube and read the comments. United States is the freaking laughing stock of the world. And even people from here who are catching on, they're saying the same thing. Okay? Go to Electric Viking on YouTube and read the comments. Okay? Because you remember, this is what's so pathetic about it. Okay? They bought out certain industries. Okay? And they're coming in to take over the market. Everybody and their mamas is coming over here to take over. They dumbed the people down already by paying these people to poison your food supply because they all have a price. And that's how they done all this stuff, is by paying these people off. The leaders in Congress and the top CEOs in the top industries. And so you remember back in the day, you know that the Holy Scripture says one of the things that the Creator hates the most is freaking pride. Right? Is that true or not true? Isn't that number one? And so I remember growing up when I was even 12 years old, I think, when the song came out. It was by a certain band. I won't name the name of the band, but the name of the song was something to the effect of, "We Are the Champions." You remember that song? We are the champions of the world. Man, did they love that song. They played that song every freaking chance they could get at any gathering, any events gatherings, at rodeos, at anything, you name it. Sporting events, they love to play the song. They love to be the best. Pride, right? For 25 years, they freaking played that song because they believe that USA is the champions of the world. They have so much freaking pride, dude. You don't think this is why everybody hates them? It's like a conceited person who thinks they're good, too good for other people, right? And somebody was talking about this on the Electric Viking, and I made a comment. I said, yeah, about the song. I said, I'm here and I can tell you, they freaking played that song any chance they could get at any event where there's large gatherings. They are like Lucifer, right? Isn't that what Lucifer tries to be? And so I'm getting all this stuff, getting rid of all this bad stuff that they're poisoning us with. And I found one bread that I found is Dave's Killer Bread, and it's good bread. It's very good bread. And but I'm just finding out that there's freaking tons of different good bread out there. Aldi is actually selling a good bread with 3 ingredients, and it's not even expensive. So I'm finding out all this different stuff and finding out breads that I didn't even know existed. Okay. Um, awesome breads, way better than Dave's Killer Bread, right? But that's is what I've got, what's available. I'll probably visit Aldi and pick up some of their bread that uses 3 ingredients. It's pretty awesome bread. But this other stuff that I'm finding out about it, I don't know where to find it. So I'm gonna keep figuring. You can even make it yourself because you make it in a skillet. Um, so it's pretty cool. And but anyhow, so I'm figuring out all this stuff, and I'm figuring out how these drinks that are not even available at the store, you have to get them on Amazon. Turmeric, right? Turmeric that's been made into a juice. They got turmeric juice. They've got ginger juice. They've got turmeric and ginger with honey, right? So you can take the stuff and pour it into these other sodas that they're cleaning up. They took out all the freaking, I shouldn't even call it sugar. It's pure sucralose. It's over 80% sucralose, what they call refined sugar. That's the white sugar that's available in the stores. Really, it's sucralose. It's like a chemical. And it's bad. It's not good. And so I'm getting rid of all this stuff, but I'm finding these products that they've been hiding. It took me 3 months to find this product because they've been hiding it. So I finally found it in Walmart, and you can take these products that are available. It's basically like tonic water. It's carbonated water. And it comes in a can just like your regular soda cans. And you can take it and pour in some of the good stuff with it and make your own soda with these juices that have medicinal properties like turmeric, which is not in the stores. You have to get it on Amazon. Or ginger, organic ginger, organic turmeric, and all other kinds of organic stuff. All kinds of different fruit. And so um now the only thing, and here's the kicker, is milk. Okay, I drink a lot of milk, vitamin D. Probably if I was to go out into the sun and get sunshine, I wouldn't be craving milk so much because the body knows what the body needs. So it's craving the vitamin D. And well, you remember in the old days, you people who are older, remember, I remember the milkman. Just this is when it was coming to an end because I could just barely remember it. I remember the milkman, and there was big jars. I remember you could take the jars back for a deposit. I think it was like 5 cents. And back then 5 cents was like what, I don't know, $1 now, I don't know. But it was a big jar. It was like a square jar, and you would set it out on your front porch, and the milkman would come by in the mornings, I guess, early in the mornings, and he would take your old jar and he would put a new milk. And I guess you had to get other products. I don't remember any of the other products, but I remember the jar. Okay, I remember the milk. And this was raw milk, I think. I don't know if it was pasteurized. I think it was. I think it is pasteurized. They have to pasteurize it. Um, but it was not homogenized. That's when they spin the crap out of it, right? They put it in a centrifuge or whatever it is. This stuff was not homogenized. And this is the good stuff. Okay. And this milk, I remember when you'd have it in the refrigerator, sometimes the liquid, the water, I guess, would go to the bottom. So when you got the milk, it had like, you could see that there was liquid on the or on the top. I don't remember. But you would shake the milk before you drank it. You shake it and it mix it all up. And it just looks like regular milk. And for a long time, you couldn't get this stuff here in California. They'd put you in prison. The only place you could get it was in Montana. They have a place there in Montana called Kalispell. And in Kalispell, they have a creamery called Kalispell Creamery. So they get raw milk, which is the milk that I just described to you. They get raw milk and all different kinds of raw dairy products. But if you tried selling those in California, back when I was telling you about a year ago, and for the past 50 years, probably, or no, not couldn't be 50 years, like for the past 30 years at least, if you tried selling this stuff in California, they would throw you in prison. Okay. So you could get it in Montana. They had it. And they also have it at Amos Miller Farms in Pennsylvania, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, bird in hand to be more exact. Okay. Lancaster, Pennsylvania, there's a place called Amos Miller Farms who sells all freaking natural food. Everything's organic, including the milk. Okay. And that's the only place you could get raw milk. Well, all of a sudden, about 4 months ago, I see they're selling raw milk in California. But guess where? Up there with all the freaking multi-billionaires. The highest concentration of multi-billionaires in the United States is in the Bay Area. And guess where they have raw milk at? The Bay Area. In Sonoma County, Petaluma, California, there's a dairy that is selling raw milk. But do you think we have any over here where I'm at in the Central Valley? Hell no. I think the only product that we have that I've searched for is butter. Okay. So this is the next thing for me, cleaning up my diet, getting all these freaking poisons that these freaking criminals who are being prosecuted finally in the state of California, the top 10 freaking national corporations, these multi-billion-dollar companies who are poisoning the people are being freaking um I don't know what you call that. They're being sued by the state of California. They're being taken to court and charged criminally for doing this stuff to the people. Okay? And so that's the next thing. The milk. So who knows when we'll finally start getting some of this milk down here in the valley. But they've got it right up there where all the multi-billionaires are. Okay? In the Bay Area, California. San Francisco, basically. Okay? You don't believe it? Look it up yourself. Raw milk, Luma, California, and you'll find the place that's selling it. Okay. Okay. Outside, immaculate, 99-cent part. EV buses, New York, all shades and bars on doors. another thing about where this person lives over there in New York, who was on YouTube this morning, and he drove down to the AutoZone. Um, I saw where he was at, right? You can go on YouTube and go to Google Maps and you go right to where he's at, the exact spot, and you can look around. And and so I went in and I saw where he was at in New York. And it looked like a nice neighborhood, right? But every freaking door in that whole neighborhood had freaking bars on it. What does that tell you? This place is jacked. Okay? They are starving the people financially, turning them into freaking animals. They're hoarding all the power, all the money. These freaking thieves. Okay? And not only that, but I also noticed that every one of them, there was not one house. I guess you call them a house, they're like apartments or something. And they're like 2 stories and they face each other on the street. And there's barely hardly any room for cars to go through. People start double parking and they make it to where it's only one car can go through, right? A big truck will never fit through there. But anyhow, they got, they're like facing each other. And not one of them had their curtains open. Everybody, the whole freaking block, all the curtains are pulled. That's freaking crazy, right? They're in there watching TV, getting brainwashed. Is it any wonder that the electric vehicles in New York City, the electric buses, are 0.01% compared to what other people are doing, namely San Francisco, California, and the rest of the world? Okay? Like Norway, Sweden, Netherlands, Ireland, and China, where there's billions of people. Okay? Not millions, billions. There's 18 of them to every one of us. And guess who's coming to dinner? Look around you. Okay? And so I wanted to talk about behavior. Okay? This thing that's going on over in Minneapolis, the neighborhood that was out there cussing out the ICE agents. Okay? That was freaking weak. Okay? Girl goes up there after this dude freaking pops this person, pops her in the head, right? And then the car goes off and crashes. And this lady, whoever, I think it was her wife, right? Yes, she has a wife. That's what I read. It was her wife. And goes over there and tells the cop. First of all, she desecrated and denigrated the name of the Lord. Okay? That is disgusting. And then she goes over and tells the dude, Jonathan, who freaking just shot her wife at point blank. Shame. Shame. That is freaking pathetic and freaking weak. Then you see all the rest of the whole neighborhood, the dudes, the rest, the whole nest of, get the hell out of Minnesota. Get the F out of here. That's freaking pathetic. Then they start throwing snowballs at them. This is a freaking joke. And that's like me describing the chickens. Do you remember the other day I was describing the chickens? I said buy pasteurized raised eggs. That's the best for the chicken. Right? Because they can go outside if they want to. Which is nice. If you've ever had chickens, you know it's nice to see the chickens out there digging around and eating whatever they can find. It's nice. They have a super hot, they can eat anything. And they have some type of, that's the way the creator made it. And so I said, if you don't buy those, at least buy the cage free eggs. I said, if you don't at least buy the cage free eggs, that's freaking disgusting. Okay? Because the ones that are not at least cage free or pasture raised is freaking inhumane. It is freaking hell on earth what they are doing to these birds. And I said that you should buy pasture raised eggs or cage free eggs. I said it's disgusting, pathetic for you to buy those cheap $2 eggs. I said to buy the pasture raised eggs and the cage raised eggs so that you can drive these other mofos who are treating the birds like shit out of business. That was an understatement. It's not treating the birds like shit. It is what I just described just a minute ago. This is the same way they're responding to those ICE agents out there. Okay? They're not responding to them accurately the way they should be speaking to them. Okay? For some reason. I think it's because they're under some type of media-induced hypnotic trance. Right? There's other things they should have been saying to them from what they were saying. It was freaking weak. Okay? And I'm talking about the whole neighborhood. So I don't know what's going on over there. But they wouldn't behave that way over here in California. It would have been lit. That's a fact. Okay? And okay, yeah, so Hollywood is under pressure. And so they're providing real content. I don't know where it's going to go from here, but for right now, they're providing real content, real body cam footage. Okay? Because they have to, because they can't compete with these YouTube live streams that are real people bringing you real information, the free flow of information. Okay? And so I told you two of them. One is called Unspoken Crime Murders, and doesn't just talk about murders. The one I just talked about, the one that I just watched is freaking off the chain. Okay? And the other one is called EWU Body Cam, but I'm sure there's a lot of them. I've seen a lot. These are the two that popped up this morning. Okay, so that's all I've got to share with you right now. And thank you for leaving messages, everyone. I see that there's a troll in here. Nothing I can do about that troll right here. Okay. Um, somebody's telling somebody something that I don't know what they're talking about, but thanks for leaving comments in there. I don't know what a lot of these people, some of these comments don't make sense. Okay. So if somebody asks a question, I'll actually answer it. Like somebody's talking about Russia having electric vehicles. I don't know what's really going on in Russia, to tell you the truth, but I know that there was one guy making videos out over there. But if someone comes up with an argument like, well, you know why they have them over there in Cali? Because I'm going back to Cali. Cali. I'm going back to Cali. Right? If there's somebody who says, well, you know why they have them over there in California and not here? Because New York is freaking freezing. Okay, well, tell that to the people in freaking Norway. Tell that to the people in Sweden. Tell that to the people in the Netherlands. They're 100% electric and they're colder than your ass. Okay? All right, so thanks for tuning in, everybody. Oh, Russia. I'll check that out. Magadan. I'm going to write that down and check it out. Okay, thanks for leaving the comment. And we'll talk to you all later. See if this is true what this person is saying. All right. Signing out from the Central Valley, California, 70 miles southwest of Fresno, California, in case you want to know where I'm at. This is the Central San Joaquin Valley in California, January 10, Saturday. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you all on the next video live stream.